spend time with them. And there you can get a nice look at the face. Many different things that makes it a white rhino, apart from the genetics. Just IDing it from this angle, you can see the nose, the horns. It's coming closer. Let's just be quiet a little bit. We should see them better. As she walks out, you'll see the front horn much longer than the second horn. How beautiful is that? Perfect view. Sorry guys, it's a bit of a long conversation there, but as you heard Aubrey there, he's one of the guys that has been a tracker and a guide here for, I think Aubrey's been here for about 15 years, and they've been looking for rhinos the last few days. So they're obviously keen to see these guys as well. Really awesome to have them so relaxed. I mean, it's quite often, especially with this thick bush, like I said, they can quite easily disappear. It's a bit tricky to follow them, but at the moment they found a good patch of grass there, so we should have them here for a while. Very solid animal. When we compare black and white rhinos with each other, quite often compare white rhinos to sumo wrestlers. And with all due respect, I compare black rhinos to Mike Tyson. Black rhinos are much more stocky, powerful, and a little bit short of temper. Sometimes you don't really want to go mess with them too much. Whereas white rhinos are much more laid back, much more bulky, solid animals, almost twice the size and twice the weight of sumo wrestlers. Huh? Sorry, that's the problem with being live. Sometimes my brain and my mouth is not on the same time here. But as you know, we are live here and we're looking at these white rhinos, which can be twice the size and twice the weight of black rhinos.
And sumo wrestlers.
And sumo wrestlers. They can get enormous. I mean, the really, really big white rhinos can go well over 2 tons. 4.5, almost 5,000 pounds. So they're enormous animals. And for them to be so relaxed and so front horn, the base of the horn, with your males, it tends to be really solid there, and the horn tends to stay relatively thick. Because for the males, they also use those to fight, so they're going to quite often horn wrestle with other males as they get older. And the females more typically just use theirs for defense, so their horns don't get as thick necessarily and tends to get longer along the front. But that's just a rule of thumb. It's not something you can go by all the time. Beautiful. Almost like a picture frame, that knobthorn trunk in the front and all the bush around, framing the white rhino perfectly. Moving off, probably going to catch up to the female again for a bit. She's about 3 meters or so. Right. Not too worried, just lifting your head, seeing what we're up to. We're not that far away now, we're only about 30 odd yards from her. She's deciding we're not bothering her, and as you can see, just goes along and grazes some more. If you're walking, often you'll find areas where they've been grazing, and it's almost like they mowed open a footpath as they walked along. See that bird just swooping over her there? So side there. It's a fork-tailed drongo. One of my favorite birds, one of Helen's favorite birds. Most people that spend a lot of time in the bush develop a great affinity for these little birds. They're very courageous. They'll take on and chase away big raptors and predatory birds and wild cats and snakes. In this case, just using that rhino's size as the rhino is walking along, it's disturbing some insects, and it provides a quick, easy meal for the drongo. One of your symbiotic relationships known as commensalism. Well, this can, to an extent, this can almost be mutualistic, because the rhino benefits very, very little bit from it. That if something was around, the bird might make a noise, but not really a major benefit for the rhino. Obviously, the bird is benefiting in a major way. It's not going to get harassed by predators so close to the rhino. It's going to get easy food. They're quite happy to do their thing together. Now this bush is getting very thick around.